Hallo, herzlich willkommen, welcome. Ich bin Susanne. This video is for German learners that have never learned German before, but you would love to learn German. Then this is your very first class. I received many inquiries asking me, Susanna, where should I start? And so the idea about making this video came about. I will be introducing to you 10 regular verbs, and they all work kind of the same or the same for the I form. At the end of the video, you will be able to introduce yourself in the I form with 10 different statements. And that's the goal. So let's jump right into it. My first verb is heißen. Heißen is the infinitive form, the very basic form of the verb. And it means to be named or to be called. And you use the verb when you want to introduce your name to someone. Let's take the en of the verb, and you are left with the verb stem heiß. And now for the I form, you're going to add an e, heiße. Now add in front of it the subject ich, which means I. I would say ich heiße Susanne. And now create your own sentence. The second verb is lernen. Lernen means to learn. Take the en off, you're left with the verb stem, lern, and add again an e, lerne. Put ich in front, that's the subject. Ich lerne. And here are a couple of options. I could say ich lerne Spanisch. Ich lerne Englisch. Ich lerne Deutsch. Ich lerne Französisch. Ich lerne Chinesisch. Create your own sentence now. And important is that you say it out loud. Stop at any time the video to do that. That's important. Here's your third verb. Two verbs, wohnen, leben. I introduced them together because they're very similar. Not the same, but similar. Wohnen is to reside, leben is to live. Take the verb stem off. Take the ending en off, and you're left with the verb stem, wohn and leb. Now add an e, wohne, lebe. Put ich in front. Ich wohne, ich lebe. We need a little preposition here. The preposition in. I could say, ich wohne in Dresden. So I just add the city, the name of the city that I live in. Ich wohne in Dresden. I reside in Dresden. I could also say, ich lebe in Dresden. I live in Dresden. So now create your own sentence by adding the city you're living in. If you live nearby the city, not really inside of the city, you could replace the preposition in with bei. So I could say, ich wohne bei Dresden. That would mean maybe I live an hour outside of that city. So by means nearby. Let's go to our next verb. You can see the pattern already, can you? We always take the ending en off. We add the little letter e and then the ich. That's for regular verbs, a pattern that you can learn within this video as well. Lieben, a wonderful verb. It's a regular verb, to love. Take the en off. We have the verb stem lieb. Put an e at the end. Now you can say ich liebe, I love. Let's just use a name here. any person's name and add that at the end of the sentence. For example, I could say, ich liebe, just a random name here, Tim. Ich liebe Tim. And there you have your sentence. Create your own sentence now. Our next verb is kommen. Kommen means to come. So we are able to say where we come from, basically where our origin is, where we were born. Kommen, take the en off. You're left with the verb stem komm. Now add an e, komme. And put the ich in front, the subject, ich komme. We need a preposition here, from, which means aus. Ich komme aus. And now add the place that you're coming from at the end. I would say, ich komme aus Deutschland. What I'm really saying is, that's where I was born. That's where my origin is. Some countries have an article, but most countries will not have an article here. So just be aware of that. But here are a few options. You could say Spanien, Italien, Europa, a continent, or Australien, or Frankreich, for example. So, ich komme aus, and then add a country. We have studieren, to study. That is important when you are studying at university. That is when you're going to use this verb. Take the en off. Studier is your stem. And now add the i, studiere. You see the pattern is always the same. Now add the ich in front, ich studiere. Instead of adding the subject, it can be a bit already advanced. Just add the place you're studying in. So we use our little preposition in, ich studiere in, and then the city you are studying in. Ich studiere in Berlin. Ich studiere in Paris. Now create your own sentence. If you don't study, you might work. So the verb for working is arbeiten. The emphasis is on the A, on the first syllable. Arbeiten. Take the en off. Add an e and we say arbeite. Now add the ich arbeite. Again, let's add the preposition in, because the professions are also a bit more complex, and the grammar as well. So let's add the place and the preposition in. Ich arbeite in Berlin. Ich arbeite in Deutschland. Ich arbeite in Italien. So add the place you're working in at the end. Next verb, trinken. Trinken is a regular verb. Take the en off. The verb stem is trink. And now add an i. Trinke. Ich trinke. I could say, ich trinke Kaffee. Ich trinke Wasser. Ich trinke Mineralwasser. Ich trinke Saft. Ich trinke Bier oder Wein. Ich trinke Coca-Cola. Create your own sentence. One more verb, spielen. Spielen is a nice verb to play. We cannot say I play sports, but we can say the very specific sport. For example, tennis, any type of team sport, you would have to name it, and then it works in German. Or you could play cards or a board game. So here's an example. Spielen is our verb. We take the en off and add an i. Spiele. Ich spiele. I could say ich spiele Tennis. Ich spiele Volleyball. Ich spiele Fußball. Ich spiele Karten. Ich spiele Schach. Ich spiele Badminton, in German Federball. Ich spiele Federball. Ich spiele Tischtennis. So create your own sentence. Now you can create your own 10 little sentences about yourself. You can introduce yourself already after watching this video. Maybe watch it again just to listen again to the words and speak out loud. And I hope you enjoyed this. I kept it very simple, hopefully. And I have also created an online course for absolute beginners. The link is below the video. If you're interested, the first chapter is for free. And then if you decide to buy the course, it is called Milestone 1. I also have a Milestone 2. Then there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. But the best is I also offer for everyone who's purchasing the course a one-on-one lesson on Skype, which is included in the fee. But try the first chapter for free and see how you go if you're interested in continuing learning as an absolute beginner. I'll lead you step by step to the next step, basically. Check it out, and if you have any questions about this video, please put your question below, and I'm always so happy to answer. For now, I wish you a wonderful day, einen wundervollen Tag. Bis bald, tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.